For. Hi everyone, my name is Gabby and this is my 1991, I was about to say Suzuki, but that wouldn't be right, Pontiac Firefly. Now this model is a Canada exclusive, Canada and some other markets. Basically, it didn't go to the States. However, it's got a lot of sister cars that are absolutely identical, minus the badge up on the front. Today's video, I'm going to show you around my new ride, and spoiler alert, it's a little bit underwhelming, but that's exactly why I got this car. So I think we should get right into it. I'm going to take a tour of the exterior for you guys, show you what we're looking at right now, and some things I plan on improving upon this car. That being said, I have a lot of ideas for this vehicle. A lot of them do not make sense. Matter of fact, they are total nonsense. But they're still ideas, and I'm curious to see what you guys have to think about that. So let's get right into it. The best part about this being a convertible is that you can see everything just from out here. This car is tiny. Seriously, driving behind it on the highway made me realize, wow, cars are massive now. Now this isn't even considered a key car, it's just a subcompact convertible, but this was somewhat normal at the time. I mean, it was still a smaller car than standards, but compared to now, oh my goodness, this thing is tiny. Now, one of the reasons why I bought this vehicle was, number one, it was extremely cheap, but number two, I could still fit two of our cars in a garage plus this one. It takes up no space, so I can park it at the very rear of my garage, horizontally or sideways, while the other vehicles can stay vertical. So it's like it's barely even there. The color is a really disgusting old man beige. It looks a little bit yellow on camera, but it truly is just a beige, so very, very boring. And weirdly enough, this car was actually blue from factory. I really do quite like the blue, and it's so strange that it actually almost perfectly matches the Honda Civic we have at home. So that would have been pretty cool. The badging on the passenger side is almost completely off. We just have a little bit of fly at the end. Don't worry, I will be taking that off eventually. And here comes my favorite part in the badging department. The Pontiac logo on the front end is not centered. So this would be the perfect center point. It is a little bit off towards the driver's side. You might not notice it at first glance, but then once you see it, you can't unsee it. But I mean, at this point, I bought this car for $2 grand. I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna take it off anyway, so it'll be okay. The front of this car is so simple. It honestly looks pretty silly. I just love it. It totally looks like an old Honda. It's a unique car for sure. Now, if you've never heard of the Pontiac Firefly, essentially what this vehicle is it's a Suzuki Swift or a Geo Metro. Same thing, all those cars are identical. But here in Canada, we got special access to the Pontiac Firefly. Back in, I think it was 1989, Pontiac and Suzuki joined forces, and in their Cami plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, they were creating these compact vehicles. Now these cars gave you excellent fuel efficiency, and at a time where fuel was at a pretty high cost, they made a lot of sense. Now the convertible, sadly enough, wasn't actually built in Canada, but the sedan and hatchback versions were. The convertible was exclusively built in their plant in Japan. So this is a little bit of a unique car because, I mean, it's got a domestic Pontiac badge, but it's Japanese built. Versus, if you've been following for a while, my other vehicle, my daily driver, is an American-built, Japanese branded car. It's a Mazda B4000. So essentially, interior-wise, it's a Ford Ranger mechanically, built in the same plant in America as the Ford Ranger, but badged as Japanese. Actually, we can see her right now. There she is, my beautiful baby girl. All right, so now let's take a quick look inside, and then I promise I will show you what's under the hood. And spoiler alert, there's not a lot under there. Oh, just a little moment for the full emblem. This is the only one that is full on this car. So we'll hop in, and we have paper-thin door handles. These seriously feel so cheap, so crappy, but that's what this car was. I mean, it was a very, very cheap car. I could never crash in this car. Of course, I wouldn't want to crash, but I really can't, because it's not safe. You can see how thin the doors themselves are and this funky pattern on the door card itself. There is plastic everywhere, and I love the fading on the manual windows. That's so fun. Of course, with the convertible, I wasn't too worried about the air conditioning not working or even the window controls period, because I'm only gonna be really driving this if the sun is shining and the weather is nice, because I know that top's gonna leak. I can guarantee it. All right, let's hop in. Before I do that, I'll show you guys the seats. The seats have that same striped pattern as the door cards with a little bit of blue piping. And then the upper back is almost a navy blue. It's really ugly, you guys don't have to lie. There's nothing really nice about this car. It's average, and I will tell you why I bought this at the end of this video. Steering wheel. Steering wheel is my favorite aesthetic part of this car. I think it looks so awesome. It's so, I don't know, it's just so like 80s, 90s. It's vintage, man. I wasn't around at that time, but if I was, I would have been all over this. Would have bought this thing brand new. Absolutely love it. Reminds me of the old Honda steering wheels. I think everyone did the steering wheel, matter of fact. Pontiac badging in the very center. We got a horn. The horn does work. I will hit it. Woo! And then for our gauge clusters, I love this, man. Guys, this is fantastic. It looks a lot like my Mazda's gauge cluster, which I absolutely adore. Got our fuel tank. The fuel tank is, I think, it's either 37 or 35 liters, so it's a tiny tank. It actually cost about 30 bucks to fill up this vehicle, and it is so dang efficient. So liters per 100 wise, per 100 kilometers, we're at about 5.5 liters per 100, which I want to say is around 50 miles per gallon, maybe a little bit less. That is incredible, absolutely incredible. My truck is about 15 to maybe 16 miles per gallon. So this is what I'm going to be driving on nice days. As long as it's not raining, snowing, or windy, or any sort of exterior element, I will be driving this over the truck, absolutely. I'm going to save a lot of money, you guys. All right, and a couple more things I'll point out. Just everything's so old, but I like it. It's simple. We got our wiper controls worked by buttons over here. Same thing with the washer fluid. Then on the left-hand side, we have our light controls, so hazards, the full lamps, even an off button. So I actually really quite like this. I think it's really, really cool. The very center has a Pioneer deck CD player. It works, and the speakers aren't even bad on this vehicle. I actually cannot complain. When I picked it up, the radio was set to classic rock too, so I was like, they knew I was coming. They knew I was gonna buy this car. I'm happy about it. There is AC in this vehicle. It doesn't work, and again, I don't care about it not working. It's not really a vehicle where I'm after comfort. I'm just happy that there's no roof and it doesn't consume a lot of fuel. And here is for the big mama, the gear shift. So this is a 5-speed manual. The manual is way more efficient than the automatic. It's also going to be way lighter, and with all older vehicles, you got to get the manual. The automatics and classic or older cars just were not it. So with this transmission, there are some downfalls, and I'm trying to get some bushings to improve upon them, but even then, I do think a lot of what my complaints are just have to do with the fact that this is a cheap economy car and it was built cheaply. So, you know, some things I just can't fix. So there's a lot of travel. I mean, obviously this is neutral, so you expect your gear shift to move around, but let's quickly put it in gear. Why does it move so much? It jiggles so much in gear, and it's very hard to visually tell the difference between first, third, and fifth, and of course your lower gears as well too. They all look the same. So it is very unique to drive, I will say that. Also, the material that they used is so jiggly. It's just, it looks so funny, moves so much. There are cup holders, believe it or not. Let's see if I can pop them out. Don't think I'll ever use them. They are super flimsy. And then a little bit of storage space down there. So I guess CDs, whatever you want. There's also a cigarette lighter. Interesting. Right in here, little glove box. It doesn't latch on well, so don't think I'll be using that much. And then of course in the headroom department, there is a lot. So I cannot complain over there. Now I know what you guys really want to see is the engine and what kind of engine we have in there. It's not a big one, so let's pop it. I absolutely hate the hood release on this vehicle because I keep moving it the wrong way. I typically want to grab it this way, and it doesn't work like that. Did I just break it? Here we go. So it pushes the other way. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to put this down, you guys. I can't do this with one hand. There we go, now we got it. All right, and let me set you guys down while I pop the hood and we will talk about what is under there. So, this vehicle came with a 1-liter, 3-cylinder gas engine. I know, more on that later. There is not a lot of horsepower in this vehicle, but that is okay because it weighs I think it weighs like 1,800 pounds. So it's a very lightweight vehicle. And the hood is so light. Everything about this car just feels so cheap, which, I mean, kind of what I expected. It is a single overhead camshaft on this car. So pretty much what that means is we got one camshaft that's gonna sit over the engine cylinder head. So I like to call it the SOHC, S-O-H-C. Very, very interesting, and again, extremely fuel efficient. It produces probably around 50 horsepower. I mean, that's what it was marketed as, brand new. What it makes now, I have no idea. However, we got it up to highway speed, no problem. Definitely don't recommend it on the highway because if a transport truck passes you, it really is influenced by the wind, I will tell you that. I think it's 58 pound-feet of torque, brand new too, but I don't think those numbers really mean much today's date. A lot of work does have to be done to this vehicle in order for me to get it safety to get on the road and get plates. So I am working on that. It should be hopefully done next week. One thing about this vehicle, and just due to its age and the fact that there wasn't a lot of them, parts are a little bit harder to find for it. So again, for the bushings, I mean, we could probably find a universal kit, but we couldn't find something that was actually meant for this car. But again, that's not a safety related issue, so we can hold off on that for now. Anyway, let's keep talking about it. Again, I'll show you guys what we've got under the hood. Obviously, a very small engine. It's about 130 pounds, the actual engine itself. So if worse came to worse, you could probably do a roadside engine pull. Like, you could probably take this out yourself if you're strong enough. Do not think you need a crane for this. It's also a very, very simple car. So if you're kind of mechanically savvy, a lot of the stuff you could do yourself. Couple other things that need to be done to this vehicle. It definitely needs brakes that are completely warped. Needs new tires too, because the tires that are on it are winters and they are very old. Cosmetically, of course, I'm going to try to make it look a little bit better, but this isn't a vehicle that I plan on dumping a lot of money into, which is going to sound a little funny because I do also want to talk about things that I could do with this vehicle if I wanted to, which I kind of do. I just have to justify whether it's worth spending money on it or not. Wheels, we got our plastic wheel covers, and then of course it's just a steel wheel underneath. There's disc brakes in the front with drum brakes in the rear. So everything's relatively cheap parts-wise. Definitely needs a new radiator, because look at that. It's leaking and not looking so good. All right, you guys, someone sent a super chat. Is it because you think I'm poor because of this car? Anyway, let's answer some questions. I want to see what you guys have to say. And again, the Firefly is a Geo Metro. It's a Suzuki Swift. They're all the same car. But this was a convertible specialized for Canada. So in the States, you guys did not get the Pontiac convertible. I think you just got the Geo convertible. That being said, the Suzuki Swift also came with a GTI trim level option, and that had a 1.3 liter 4-cylinder. That produced about 100 horsepower. Now, a lot of people do put that motor in this car because, again, it fits. There's no real fab work or anything to get done to it, but I cannot for the life of me find one. Again, it was a fairly rare car, so there's not a lot of active aftermarket for these vehicles. I haven't really checked the comments at all yet, so I don't know what your reactions are on this vehicle. Oh, Joe Mama asked if it's the original color. No. So it is blue. I will show you a closer look at the blue. I actually had an air compressor on the vehicle the other day trying to get some of the, there was a bunch of leaves and just outside buildup because of how long this car was parked and all the cracks. So I had an air compressor gun trying to blow it all out, and it flaked off a lot of the beige paint. So this is the original blue color. You can find it in a lot of areas on this car. Again, I don't know why they chose such a boring beige when it was a pretty fun blue, but here we are. I really do wish it was still blue, but it's okay. There is something I would like to do this vehicle, and I really don't want to spoil it because I think it's really funny and you guys will get a laugh out of it. So I'd rather surprise you. However, I do plan on taking off the emblems just because, I mean, they're not looking too good. Probably leave the Pontiac one on, and then the one for the hood, I'll just try to recenter. I could definitely just find some aftermarket with new, fresh adhesive. But there's something I would like to put on the hood of the vehicle, a vinyl sticker. And if you're familiar with older Pontiacs, you may know something called the Screaming Chicken. Could find it on something called the Trans Am. Yeah, I'm not putting that on my car. I'm not trying to get attacked by the Pontiac guys, but I have an idea. It's related to the Firebird Screaming Chicken, but it's not exactly that. I'll let you guys guess. Also, you would not believe your eyes. 10 million fireflies. Sorry, I'll see myself out. Hingle McCriggleberry said V8 engine swap. Yeah, we're gonna throw an LS in here, no problem. Guys, the size of the vehicle does play a major part in some of the things that I could do or maybe not do. I don't know how easy an LS would fit in there, but I could seriously consider some sort of Honda motor. Could do a D-Series. D-Series shouldn't be too bad. I mean, size-wise, it definitely would need some fab work. How fun would it be, though, if I got something VTEC, like a B-Series motor? That way, we could have 3 B-Series cars in our garage. B4000 Mazda, B-Series Civic, and a B-Series Firefly. That would take a lot more work and a lot more money. So I don't know if that's something I want to do. What's the most unusual or surprising place you could imagine finding a 1991 Pontiac Firefly today, and what story might the car tell? Well, I'll tell you how I came across this one. Last week, I think it was Thursday, I woke up and I checked Facebook Marketplace, just like I always do. I don't check social media, I don't respond to my mom's texts. I go straight to Facebook Marketplace or YouTube Studio. It's one or the other, usually both. And I refreshed my page, and under the recommended listings, I saw this. I looked at the picture and I was like, wow, that car is really ugly. Can't say I've ever seen one on the road. Instantly sent the guy a message asking if it was available. He said yes. I said, perfect. Can I come see it today? He said, for sure. And that's what I did. I went and saw it today. I took a license plate from the dealership with me, drove it back to the dealership. Here it is, now it's mine. That's how she happened. Someone said the AI knows Gibby. Yeah, the Facebook Marketplace algorithm, it never lets me down. I find some amazing finds on there. I'm sorry if I've ever lowballed you on Marketplace. Someone said it's like Walter White's car, the Pontiac Aztec. Yeah, was his the same color? I feel like it was a really similar color. But very similar vibe. It's one of those cars that you either love it or you think it's one of the ugliest cars on the planet. I don't actually think this vehicle is ugly. I just think it's different, and it's definitely not something you see a lot of, which is exactly what I love in a car. Anybody can buy something new and fancy from the dealership, but having something with a little bit more, character, that's always fun. I love going to car shows and seeing the vehicles that people actually built and are really, really proud of versus cars that, they just wrapped and threw on a couple bolt-on mods. It's cool to see something different. Not that this is a built car, this is just something I just picked up. But anyway, it's got character, that's what I'm trying to get at. Kringleberry, you would not believe your eyes, 10 million fireflies. Phoenix emblem, so very similar, yeah, the screaming chicken, the firebird, whatever you want to call it, something like that, but there will be no bird on it. Think bug. Oh, I feel like I should just show you guys. I'll show you guys when I do it. It's like a pug or a bulldog adorable because it's ugly. Exactly. So, I mean, pugs, bulldogs, I think they're amazing. I think they're so, so cute. But, they're ugly cute. Let's be real. Take that $20 super chat and put it in the car's mod fund. Oh my goodness, you guys. Thank you so, so much. I think that was Adele. It's not showing who actually did that. Oh yeah, it was Adele. Thank you so much. A couple people are saying they like the blue. Someone asked if it has full self-driving capabilities. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I'm very happy, obviously, that I found a manual. This is my first manual for me. Now, I've known how to drive manual for years now, but I've never purchased a manual car for myself. I've never had one under my name. So this is my first manual car, and I'm very excited about it. Now we have more manual cars in our driveway than automatic cars, which is interesting. Yeah, because we have, let's give you a breakdown of what's in my garage, what's in Gabby's garage. We have, and these two cars are not mine, they're my boyfriend's cars. 2024 BMW M4, and that is a 6-speed. M2, that's a 6-speed. And then we have a 1997 Honda Civic. That thing is completely boosted. It is nowhere near what you would expect for Honda Civic. That is a 5-speed, this is a 5-speed, and then my truck is a 4-speed automatic with overdrive. All right. Glenn said, my convertible was unibody like that, but also had a frame heavy. Windshield was a crash bar, seats were structural, way moved low to keep it on the wheels as you cannot roll them ever. Yeah, so with the convertibles, I believe they had more reinforced rocker panels as well as the doors, just I guess to make it a little bit safer, but they're interesting. This is my first convertible, and I mean, I love the wind in my hair, I guess. I can leave for work with my hair wet and get to work. I got a full blow dry. Is your truck about the size of the rumored Kia Hyundai small pickup? No, I'd imagine our new pickup would be much bigger. Manual transmission, the best anti-theft device there is. This is true. Can you turbocharge it? Yeah, so some people actually do turbocharge it. The G series Suzuki engines, I believe one of them, I forget what the actual engine codes or names are, but there is a stock turbo one. With that though, it's a little tricky to find them. So for a Firefly, I don't know if they ever came with it. So keep in mind, you guys, I actually really didn't know anything about this vehicle. I just saw it on Marketplace and thought, wow, that is so unique, I want it. So I haven't done a lot of research on this car, I just kind of bought it. Now I'm starting to do the research, trying to realize what I just bought. And yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve for me. I don't know these cars that well. What I do know is that the engine on this particular vehicle is the, what's it called? Oh my gosh. I think it's, the G13 is the one in the GTI that makes 100 horse. This one's a G10. So this is the one that creates about 50, maybe 55 horsepower. But someone said tons of sunscreen, do your neck and arms. Yeah, so lots of sunscreen with a convertible. I will also say, although the horsepower is extremely low, some people are joking on my Instagram saying, my lawnmower has more than that. Yeah, it's low horsepower, especially by today's standards, but this car weighs like 1,700 pounds. It's very, very light. It handles like a go-kart. It can still go on the highway, but because it is so light, it's obviously going to be very influenced by things like larger vehicles on the road or things like wind. Steven asked if I could put the top up. I don't want to right now. It's actually not that easy. It's completely manual, and there is a lot of like tree debris in there still, so I don't know if I want to touch that right now. Gabby, you do not wear hats in this car. It's okay, I'm not a hat person. Just got asked if it's going to Maine. Absolutely not. I would not want to drive this vehicle all the way over to Maine. That being said though, I should show you the cargo space because it's kind of surprising. So let me just show you my keys as well. Don't worry, there's no personal information here. It's just me. So you can see it's actually my car, Gabrielle Pereira, Firefly, 1991. Let's take a little look-see, shall we? I also didn't talk about the mileage on this vehicle. It's just over 151,000 kilometers. And again, it's 34 years old. It had the same owner since 2002 as well. So whoever had it last, they kept it for a while. And the man who sold me the car told me that it was an older gentleman, which explains the choice of this beige. So here's the cargo space. It's actually quite spacious. The one thing I don't like about it, and I can't even hate on it, I mean, it is an older car, is obviously the fact that there's no real release here. You have to use your key, and I only have one key, so I better not lose it. All right, I do love the tail lamps. I think this is so fun for an older vehicle, especially a budget car. The fact that we have a proper like tail light bar, super funky, very square, or I guess rectangular in this case too. I like to think that this car looks like a Fox body if a 5-year-old was drawing it. And if you guys didn't know, I actually wanted to buy a Fox body for my fun manual car. That didn't work out. All of them were too dang expensive and people weren't listening to me when I asked if it was available or if I asked questions about it. They just kept reading my messages and not responding. I got so annoyed, so ended up with this. Who's laughing now? Anyway, we're at 24 minutes talking about a Firefly. I might just take a few more minutes to answer some questions and then I'll see what you guys have to say once this video is posted in the regular comments. Let me know if you like it. Rocket Dog said Fox body meets 90s Chevy van for the styling. Literally, literally. Now again, I mentioned earlier on that the convertible wasn't actually produced in Canada, but there was a plant that produced the sedans and the hatchbacks. That's in Ingersoll, Ontario. So this could have very well been a Canadian car. I mean, its sisters are, but the convertible is built in Japan. But again, wearing an American badge on the front, while its siblings were built in Canada. So it's all one big like multicultural family. It's very sweet. I do think it's very on brand though. Obviously I was not searching for this car, it just appeared on my Facebook Marketplace, but it's so funny that I have an American-built Japanese car and then a Japanese-built American car. I think that just worked out so funny. I wonder if Fiero parts work with it. Oh, I don't even want to think about Fieros. When I was kind of teasing what vehicle I bought on Instagram, a lot of people thought I got a Fiero. More than you can afford, pal, that's right. What are some aspects of the Firefly that might appeal to classic car enthusiasts or collectors? I think just the fact that not a lot of people know about them, and that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, one of the techs at my job laughed. They said, well, there's a difference between desirable and rare. This one's just rare. And I'm like, yeah. It wasn't exactly an enthusiast car. There definitely is a group of people that do love them, but I just think it's unique, and that's what I really do like in the car world, something a little different. Certainly not a sports car or a supercar. It's a budget car that's a convertible. What's going on the hood? An emblem, big emblem. Hingle said, it's definitely you. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it. What is the paint color's name? It's like a plaster white, Urku. I have no idea what this paint is called. It is not a factory paint. I just call it Old Man Beige. But let me know in the comments what you guys think it is. I would consider wrapping this car. It does have a little bit of rust bubbling underneath the paint that I've noticed. And the paint job itself, I mean, it's not in the best shape. I don't know when they actually painted it, because on the Carfax, the vehicle color was listed as blue for a long time. So just about every service record has in its details that the color is blue, the color is blue. So I don't know when it was actually painted. A little bit of rust bubbling down there, right over here. By no means does this car look mint. I mean, it's again a 34-year-old car and not exactly a collector's car or a super prestigious car. So I was not expecting it to be showroom condition, but I certainly would consider wrapping it simply because it's so small and the body does not look complicated. So I think even someone as new to that as me could probably get a good handle on it. And then once that gets done, maybe I'll take on a bigger project like my truck, because I still have a full roll of vinyl wrap to wrap my truck. All right, you guys, what color would I wrap it? I will answer that quickly. I think if I were to wrap this vehicle, there is something I want to do to it first, aesthetic-wise, before I wrap it, and that has to do with an emblem on the hood. But if I were to wrap it, I would take that emblem off and do the whole thing some sort of like fun jelly bean color, because I do think this vehicle looks like a jelly bean. So whether that be a bright pink, bright purple, just something out there, because let's be real, you guys, it's an interesting car. Other than that, that's all I've got to say about this vehicle for now. I do need to drive it a bit more. Again, it's not street legal yet. It hasn't been safetied. So once I've been daily driving it for a while, I will film another video. But in the meantime, follow me on Instagram for updates at Gabby's_garage, and I hope to see you guys in future videos. Bye-bye.